Howdy, folks. I'm Brian.
I'm Amber.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior. We already recorded this video, and I was the one who remembered it the last time around, so he's trying to just steal that out from under me.
I am, it makes me an evil person, but that's fine. We'll just roll with it. I said it first.
No, you didn't.
Our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Taking My Husband to the Hospital After He Lied to Me? Deja vu. I'm a 28-year-old female and my husband, a 26-year-old male, has been married for 4 months. I returned to work right after we got back from our honeymoon. My husband thinks I went back too soon and wanted to extend our honeymoon or plans for a summer trip for us, but since we have to pay rent, electricity, internet, we need to earn a living. I work at a restaurant right across the street. My husband would call me during work hours and complain about missing me and feeling bored. I get home by 6 p.m., so I understand how he feels since he can't start working until September. He called me one time for work asking if I could come home to watch a movie together, but I said I was busy. He complained and then ended the call and then called me back 30 minutes later, telling me to get home ASAP because he injured his arm and couldn't move it. I freaked out and I went home quickly to find it was actually him lying to get me to skip work so I could watch a movie with him. It made me mad. He did it again days later saying his car broke down and I needed to come pick him up. Then I found out he lied to get me out of work so he could take me out for lunch. I spoke to him about it and he told me he would stop doing it and apologized and said he won't repeat his shameful acts. Well, 5 days ago, he called me when I was working to tell me to come home to take him to the hospital because he fell from the stairs and injured his ankle. I hung up on him thinking he was lying. He texted me, but I ignored him, since I had a ton of work. 20 minutes later, his brother called me and said he was mad, saying that he just took my husband to the hospital for his broken ankle and I should have responded to my husband's calls and texts. I went to the hospital and my husband was very upset. I tried to explain that I thought he was just joking, and he said, "Save it. I don't want to hear about how you thought I was a liar." Then he went on about how hurt he was that I didn't help him in his time of need and vulnerability. He told me to go back to work since it was so important and since I didn't want to leave to help him. He started a big argument over this, and I told him that due to his previous lies, how was I supposed to know or believe him now? He said he didn't even need to tell me, and I should have known that something was wrong. It's been days, and he's still upset, and he asked his sister-in-law to stay to help him out. I felt horrible, and not like a supportive wife at all. Okay. Someone told me I should add this piece of information to the context, and here it is. My husband suffered from mental health issues in the past year or so, hence he can't work until September. He's doing a lot better now compared to what he was dealing with in the past, but he still suffers from a number of symptoms, and one of them being anxiety. He doesn't know anyone in the town that we live in, just his brother, and he sees him once or twice a week. He says he hates staying home by himself and wishes he could have me stay with him all the time. So, Amber, what do you think about this? As if I'm asking you for the first time.
Well, I don't think OP is being a jerk here. I don't know enough about the husband's mental health struggles to be able to rank how jerky his behavior is.
Yeah.
But I certainly think that given his past behavior, it's a reasonable assumption to think that he's just trying to get me out of work so I can watch a movie with him or something.
I mean, they have a parable called The Boy Who Cried Wolf about this. How many times have I brought this up? You folks know this. The internet seems to know this, but this guy...
That's literally the top comment.
Oh yeah, is it? Reddit seems to know this, but he does not seem to get this. So yeah, if you lie about stuff, imagine that. When you are telling the truth, someone might not believe you, and then you might be in real trouble.
Yeah, well, and he's putting her in a very, I don't know the extent of his struggles, but he is putting her in a very bad situation because presumably, they need money to pay the bills, and so I can't imagine her job is very happy about her,
No.
calling out twice in close succession.
Yeah, well, most places aren't going to give, paid time off,
Yeah.
So she may not even gotten paid for those days, and that might hurt their budget. So, that seems like a really risky thing to do, and especially if they are on a tight budget. It doesn't sound like they have, like, loads of excess money.
Right.
So, I think it's unfortunate. I mean, I feel bad for him with his anxiety and not wanting to be left home and his, mental health issues, but this doesn't excuse his behavior for lying.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to read this one like you're reading it for the first time.
Our next story is, am I the jerk for not giving back my wedding dress? At least this time around, he didn't yawn and tell me how bored he was of me.
That's not even what happened.
He did yawn.
I did yawn. I wasn't saying that she was boring.
You said you were bored. You said, I must be bored, and I literally read the title of the story. It's like, wow, sorry I'm so boring.
Yeah, well, I was just being silly. I wasn't saying that you were boring.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Happy days, everyone.
Spooky days are here again. I don't know. That just reminded me of that little song my haunted radio sings. Involved people. Me, 29-year-old female. My fiancé and soon-to-be husband, 31-year-old male. His twin brother and my brother-in-law, 31-year-old male. Brother-in-law's fiancé, 30-year-old female. Story. My fiancé and I got engaged summer 2019, but said from the very beginning not to stress about the date of the wedding, so we set the wedding for December 2021. In March this year, I walked past the shop.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I just gotta help myself.
In March this year, I walked past the shop for wedding dresses, and I saw one in the window I instantly loved. Long story short, I bought it the next day together with my best friend. I wanted her opinion first. No one else knew I already have it. My brother-in-law is supposed to get married in September, and his fiancée went dress shopping last week. I didn't come along. Today she wanted to show the dress to the girls in the family. Well, she walks out with the exact same dress that I have. Everyone was complimenting her, so I kept quiet for the moment, but as soon as I got the chance to talk to her privately, I told her that I have the same dress. She was very disappointed as she expected she would be coming along dress shopping with me. She was also angry I have the same dress and asked me to give it back because she doesn't want to get married in the same dress as her husband's twin brother's wife. I don't want to give back my dress. I absolutely love it. I don't mind getting married in the dress even if she's wearing the same one. Words came out from the rest of the family and everyone is giving me flack for my decision. Edited to add, it's not that I didn't attend her dress shopping or declined to come, I wasn't even invited to come. Update. Okay, so this conflict resolved quicker and more civil than expected. After yesterday's incident, I looked into easy ways to customize my dress for me personally, without spending too much money. Like I said, I didn't mind it being the same. I sketched up a few ideas in terms of accessories, veil, belts, etc., and plan to show it to her after she hopefully calms down a bit. During the evening, I received a bunch of texts from her and my fiancé's family, but I just ignored them. Just an hour ago, she suddenly calls me, which is odd, she never calls. We aren't really close, but get along well at family gatherings, lunches, etc., and asks if we can meet. Fine, I have a break in a couple of minutes anyway and wanted to grab a coffee. We can meet at the cafe. She works in the same area and told me on the phone she also has time for a break. She was already there when I arrived, and as soon as I sat down, she started pouring apologies. How sorry she is for blaming me. It was just a hot-headed thing, she said without thinking about the situation. She was stressed after a long day at work. She also mentioned it was a mistake to feel entitled to come dress shopping with me, also just in the heat of the moment. She appreciated that I gave her a heads up when I did and didn't wait until my wedding to reveal that I have the same dress. I then told her I looked into things like accessories, etc., and she admitted she had done the same, so we compared what we came up with, and it was very different. So we came to the conclusion that we will both be keeping the dresses and make them our own individual look with our personal accessories and hairstyles and all that stuff. We also kind of bond over this as we will now be helping each other to find the perfect accessories, and we will also pick out flowers for both weddings. She talked to the family and they also apologized to me. To me, the issue now belongs in the past and we will laugh about it in the future.
Well, I think they're the jerk.
I don't.
She should have used a clairvoyant to figure out whether or not that she should have bought this dress. Like, what happened to the fortune tellers? Like, this is what happens when you don't consult a fortune teller about your wedding dress. What? Amber's like, you used that one line, Brian, already. I can't be any more shocked about it. Yes, I recycled my lines from last time.
Well, you talked about using a crystal ball.
Oh, a crystal ball,
yes. A Scryer's orb.
Or Scryer's orb.
And I asked you if you wanted me to get the Scryer's orb out of our Halloween decorations, to which you said no, that wouldn't help her.
Yes, because she's already bought her dress. She can't get her fortune read now. So, but Amber likes Halloween, so that's why
I love Halloween.
This is why we actually have one. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that she's a jerk in this situation, and I think that her sister's probably more of the jerk, or a sister-in-law, future sister-in-law, because the reaction they had was just completely uncalled for. Like, OP bought their dress first, too, on top of that.
And to be fair, sister-in-law wasn't aware of it, but they both bought their dresses independently, so it's not like the sister-in-law had a special claim to it over OP.
Yeah, and it also sounds like, for whatever reason, OP was not invited to her dress shopping, but their future sister-in-law was expecting to be invited to OP's. So
yeah, which seems strange that you would expect to be invited to someone's dress shopping when you didn't invite them to yours.
Yeah, and I think that would have been something that was talked about ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I think that this was just kind of an overreaction, and hopefully it sounds like, that they've resolved things and have come up with a really good solution. So
yeah, this is actually a really great way because, with all their customizations, no one, unless they already know about what happened, is going to be like, oh, that's the same dress. So, I mean, I think that's a great way to resolve it. And even if they were to wear the exact same dress, like, most people aren't going to notice or care.
Yeah, unless Uncle Fred has, like, a photographic memory.
Yeah, and just like,
and he's like,
wait.
Hey, didn't you two wear the exact same dress? Don't invite Uncle Fred.
Yes.
He's a jerk.
Not because of the photographic memory thing.
Not because of the photographic memory, but he just is, for pointing it out. All right, our next letter is titled, Will I be a jerk if I told my mom and sister that they'll be uninvited from my wedding unless they lay off my fiancé? Well, if they're laying on her fiancé, then that's a pretty jerky thing to do. I'm getting married at the end of the month, and it's going to be immediate family only because of COVID, and we aren't even having a dinner or party afterwards. We're only doing the wedding part, and that's it. My mom and sister are really upset that my fiancé isn't going to put any makeup on or nail polish for the wedding. My fiancé never does this in real life because she works at a laboratory where the environment has to be sterile at all times, so if she did even wear a little bit of makeup, she would be sent home. My sister and mom say the wedding will be ruined since she won't look right and she'll spoil the photos and regret it if she doesn't. I already told them that I am not wearing makeup or nail polish, neither is my dad or my brother or my fiance's dad or the chaplain. I said 6 of the 8 people there, plus our photographer, probably won't be wearing any makeup, but he won't be in pictures really. Aren't in makeup or nail polish, and they are the only 2 that will be there wearing makeup, so they'll be the ones who look strange. And they only say my fiancé will look bad and not the rest of us for spoiling it. My sister and mom are so mad about this and won't stop saying that the wedding will be ruined. Is it a jerk thing to do if I told them that they'll get uninvited if they don't stop? In my mind, they are overreacting. Would this be overreacting on my part? My fiancé doesn't deserve this.
Not the jerk.
Like, why is it they feel like OP's fiancé is going to ruin her own wedding?
Yeah, like, they're acting like this is their wedding or something. Like, this is OP and his fiance's wedding. They're both happy with her not wearing makeup. But first of all, it should be her choice, period.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
like, she doesn't wear makeup in her day-to-day life. So why should she all of a sudden bust it out for this occasion?
Yeah.
And I've actually heard kind of the opposite. So they're like, oh, well, she's going to regret it. And, like, there's always a chance she will because people sometimes regret things. But if this is how she sees herself on a day-to-day basis, she might feel really weird if she wore makeup for the wedding.
Yeah.
And I've read stories about people whose, like, families encourage them to go for, like, you know, really different makeup or hair for their wedding. And then they get the photos back and they're like, this doesn't even look like me.
Yeah, that happened to me at our wedding.
No.
And I had like a mohawk.
No,
And I had like purple tips and stuff like that. And I also wore like really, pale makeup. So it was very, very.
This is very different from the last. He described his wedding.
Well,
look in our
Amber,
last video.
I can't recycle material here. I've got to see your reaction for like for different ones.
Okay.
Because like you wouldn't be surprised if I just said I was wearing the Wookiee thing.
I shouldn't be surprised because I was at our wedding, standing right beside you.
Wait, I just admitted that I'm lying.
You did.
But inadvertently, I've admitted to that I am lying here.
I'll send Brian a picture of our actual wedding so you can see that he looks like essentially like he does now.
Pretty much. I was wearing a suit.
Yes, you were. But it was also 88 degrees, so no tie.
No tie. In Maine, we don't really wear ties in Maine much anyways. It's just kind of one of those things. I had a mohawk though.
No, he did not have a mohawk. His hair was just like it is now. He had an Alice in Wonderland themed wedding, and I had a blue dress.
Oh, now who's the one who's lying?
I'm not lying. I'm going to send a picture.
All right, folks. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for Amber for joining me twice.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry about bashing that microphone. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving us a like. If you dislike this video, consider giving us a dislike. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.